Hi guys, this week's video is all for the students and people that are actually trying to score their dream internship in order to complete their study, or simply because this is actually what is it that they want to do. And myself and Aga, we do have a lot of experience in interviewing people and also a lot of experience in interviewing a lot of interns. So we thought we could share some thoughts with you on what to do when you are applying for an internship. So the first thing I want you guys to think about is that internship is a job interview. So even though you might feel that you don't have enough experience or you have a tiny little experience, it is like interviewing for a real job. So even though your task will not be like super sophisticated and they will be small
at first,
you know, like it doesn't really matter, because the interview is really conducted in the exact same way as you would be hiring someone else for the role. So make sure that when you are preparing for it, you're coming from that perspective, because you know what, if you show that you're good enough and that they hire you and then you are in that role, the chances are that you might get promoted to a junior role within that company, and you know, it might be just exactly what you were hoping for.
Yeah, so it's a brilliant way to actually get in, and especially if you think about joining like the creative departments, there is really like very hard to get any other way in
than trying to be junior and then climb the ladder, really. Yeah, for sure.
Before we even move on to the questions, there are 3 things you need to demonstrate to your interviewer to show them you rock. So first of all, it's about being responsible. Because your skill set is very limited, because you don't have much experience yet, you're willing to build it. The key point here is to gain people's trust. So they need to be able to rely on you and be sure you're gonna deliver on time and deliver to the quality that they want. So you need to really show all of the things that you've been responsible for and you delivered. The second element is about being driven, and this is something that I'm always looking for. I want to work with people who want to work, you know? I don't want to work with people who do it because they have to.
Yeah, so people that are interested, genuinely interested. Yeah.
So basically, if you care about the topic, if you're passionate about it, let it shine through. Talk to them that, oh, you've seen the work, you want to be the graphic designer, you've done this thing. Like, sometimes it can be like really, really overwhelming, but I'd rather have someone like that than the mimos type who's sitting there like, I mean...
I know what you mean. I just want an internship. I have to have it to
like a snail.
the job. And
don't be a snail. Be a rock star.
Yeah, and just don't be like slimy, or if you're not interested. So if you're not interested in internship, and I know that sometimes it's just we don't want to do certain things, they are part of our curriculum, but you know, the chances that you're gonna get hired for that internship are higher if you show that you're passionate and driven.
And keep your energy levels high. That's it. And the next point is about showing that you care about performing well. So to build upon the 2 things, it's all connected. So it is not something to be ashamed of, to show even during the first interview, on the first meeting, that you really care about it, that this is something that you really want, because then the interviewer will know you're treating it seriously. Keep it simple. So what kind of questions you should prepare yourself for?
So the number 1 question that I'm sure people will ask you is, tell me about yourself. Now here we are simply not interested in your life experiences of primary, secondary school, or cats and dogs. No, none of that stuff. What we're really interested, we want you to tell us about and show us your responsibilities to things that you've done. So maybe you ran a newspaper at high school, or maybe your high school specialized in TV production and you're applying for a job in TV production. So these are all relevant experiences that you want to share, or any kind of hobbies or interests that you might have outside of school that show that you are responsible and reliable.
And the key point here is keep it short. Don't start, blabbing for like 15 or 20 minutes.
Not interested.
It needs to be succinct. So treat it more like a speed dating event or like an elevator pitch. Yeah. Literally 3 minutes is all you need.
Even less, even 2.
Unless you like done a lot of stuff. Yeah, but that's it. Another question that you might encounter is, what kind of subject did you enjoy the most and what kind you didn't enjoy that much? So here what we are trying to find out is to basically check what are your preferences in terms of the subjects that you enjoy. Maybe it was computer science and you absolutely love to work with computers, and maybe you've done some coding and you want to get an internship for like a junior developer or something like that. So
and maybe you've done certification in that. Yeah. Anything you've done, like any kind of classes or extra thing that can show that you care and that you took something extra and this is what you're passionate about.
Or the reason about asking for like a subject you didn't enjoy is also to check if you're going to be right fit for the role, because if the role will be relying quite a lot on doing the things you don't like and you don't enjoy, most likely you will not be very good at it. So we will take it into consideration, and if it's not the right match, it's going to work to your favor because you don't want to be doing it. So yeah, be honest and just talk about it, but in a very constructive way, because answering the questions like, yeah, I didn't like, you know, physical education because I just didn't like it, that's not an answer.
Because you may say, do you know what, like I picked the subject, but in the end I figured out it wasn't for me, it didn't resonate. Maybe the course was advertised in one way and then it came out completely different, or maybe you liked the subject or didn't like it because of the tutor or because of the nature of it. Whatever it is, just be specific and explain to us what exactly it is that you liked or didn't like. So yet another question that you can possibly be asked is to describe any challenging projects that you may worked on. And this is a very standard job interview question, at least in our books, because what we want to find out it is how you deal with issues, how you deal with stressful situations and problems. So what I want you to do is to take anything at your school, maybe an assignment was difficult, like what was the assignment, explain to me what exactly it was about, tell me where it went wrong and tell me what you learned from it. And this is exactly how you need to answer that question, no more, no less.
Similarly, you might be asked what is the project you enjoyed working on the most? And this is the question where we want to see how passionate you are about something. Maybe you needed to organize an event, for example in an embassy for like foreign students or something like that, and you needed to organize multiple stakeholders, you needed to organize catering and then design and print invitations, greet people when they came over, show them their seats, whatever there was that you were responsible for and you were actually really into it, you should tell us about it, because this shows us that you know you care and that your passion is actually present
and that you're so this is a great example, because it only shows that you can multitask, you're responsible, you're passionate, and you can deal with situation under pressure, and this is exactly what we are looking for.
And you're looking for resourceful people as well. Show us you're resourceful and you're gonna win us over.
Totally, you have to do that. And in case you had actually some previous internship experience or any other experience you might find relevant to this, treat that exactly as we just discussed about what is it that you like, what is it that you didn't like, what is it that you found challenging, those pros and cons, like the situations, how you went about it, and show that you are responsible and that you care, and then you will be very surely very good.
Also, be prepared to talk about your passions and hobbies outside of work, because this really shows what kind of a person you are. So maybe you would love to be a Formula 1 driver and you go and race every weekend, or maybe you actually are into nail art, or you like recording videos and
or
vlogs,
photography, whatever
that is. Tell us about it.
We want to know.
Yeah, tell us about it, and what do you do? How do you develop this passion? And basically, what do you do to make sure you stay sane and you do those things? That's going to be extremely helpful and extremely interesting for us as well.
And last but not least, make sure. So this happens all the time. That you don't ask any questions when you are asked, like, do you have any questions? So clue here is ask a valid question. So we're not expecting that you're gonna come out with something crazy sophisticated, but we just want to know that you're genuinely interested in the role. Like if I would be an intern, I perhaps would be curious, maybe are there any other interns? Yeah. Maybe what are the company events?
Yeah. What is the day-to-day like?
What exactly is that? Who I would be interacting with? As Aga said, day-to-day, just ask a valid question. Or maybe you're just really crazy about that particular company and that you're in advertising and you saw a cool campaign. Ask them about it. Ask like, oh, I saw this campaign and it looked like a crazy ass shoot. So how did you guys do it? I really am happy about it. I really want to know. So we would be pleasantly taken aback by that.
Yeah, because hired.
Because you guys, you know what? It really doesn't happen. It really happens in 1 out of 10 cases, and maybe I'm even exaggerating that.
Because lots of people are just so quiet and what I call mimosa. So basically it means that they are sitting there completely no energy or nothing, and they just expect us to sort of drag the information out of them. This is the worst thing that could happen ever.
Yeah, so please pick a valid question, and I'm sure you'll get a very positive response back. And
the last point is, do not ask about the compensation. The truth is, It's not gonna be any good money. Let's be honest here.
Let's be honest.
Internship is not something you do
It's
for
shit
money.
money.
It's shit money.
You totally have to live with your parents. No one can survive on this money. So internship is just really about you getting the experience, not getting the money.
Yes.
So why are you
networking.
asking? Why are you asking about it? Don't ask about it. It's not like you're gonna be making millions.
Yeah.
So
if you actually make it to the final round, then they will tell you about the money. But it's not something you'll be able to negotiate or anything. So just drop it and focus on making a big impression.
yeah, and focus on actually getting that internship that in the long run will get you that money that you want. So this is it from us. This is about how you gonna attack this internship interview, and I hope that you found this helpful. If you did, please subscribe and give a thumbs up. And as I always say, be kind, stay positive, and I'll see you guys next time.
Good night.
Bye.